Sunny.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rox. And this is
Literature on the
Rocks.
It's a book.
It's a book club.
Oh my God. You guys are ridiculous.
We didn't have the voice changers, so I felt like I'm going to give it my best shot.
It was great.
Literature on the rock. I changed my voice. I change my voice when I can hear myself talk like this.
Well, it gets better when you talk
Deeper.
Yeah, when you talk deeper.
Hey, baby girl. You like what you've seen?
Wait, do the whisper song.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Tell you all the things you might like to hear. I got a sexy ass body and my ass looks soft. I know I thought you would see if it's...
That was great. We are doing the book club We Used to Live Here, and I'm on TikTok, and I was doing some engaging with the book talk community, as Literature on the Rocks does. And I got on someone's live, and they were reading. I was like, hey, everyone, book lovers, ooh, whatever. And she was like, what are you reading? And she was just asking everyone, and I was like, we used to live here. And she was like, do you know me? do you know where I live?
Seriously?
Because, there's a little bit of a lag, right? She's like, what's everyone reading? And some people were putting stuff, but then some people were talking about something else. I'm like, we used to live here. Send. She's like, how do you know where I live? I was dying. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, know the book. She's like, oh, girl, I was a little bit scared. I promise I'm not a creep. Anyways, it was really funny.
That was good.
I like it.
That was great.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, because have you seen... What's that stupid app, Omegle?
Oh,
where,
yeah,
people, or Meagle, Meagle, where people,
No.
okay, so you just randomly get another person on the app and you're video chatting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like chat roulette.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
But there is this creepy dude who, if you start talking shit to him, the video will cut and they'll jump to another person, but then he pops up in that person's feed. And it's just fucking weird.
How does he do that?
I don't know how it happens. They've got to be connected somehow. But then it'll jump and it'll be some little kid and he's got somebody tied up in the back and he's like, don't worry, kid. I'm there just taking a nap. And they're just in the background. I'm like,
chat roulette was a thing that I didn't like in the past because
yeah.
you never
People
knew
are
if you were
creepy.
going to get a dick in the screen. You're
Yeah.
like, well, who's up next?
And who's letting their kids on this app?
Seriously.
That's crazy.
Because I have seen some videos of people doing their whatever talents on Omegle, right? And
People have talents on Omegle.
What
Well-
kind of talents are we talking about?
Like juggling.
well,
I'm joining today.
I was gonna say magicianry, but it's magic. Magicianry.
Are people on the app doing magicianry?
Their magicianry skills.
Showing how good they are at magicianry.
Oh my god! Put me out of my misery. Magicianry. What the hell?
I practice magicianry.
I'm adding that to your resume.
Oh, please do. I'm gonna start putting it in my cover letter so people know right straight away. This bitch stands on business. Magicianry business.
My
Magicianry.
My magicianry acumen is on point.
Oh, man. Should we get into this book club?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So we have prompts posted on our website every week. You guys are more than welcome to answer them. Any listener out there,
Please
encourage
do.
it. But the first 4 questions are always the same, and then the last 3 or 4 are specific to the book. First question is, what were your initial thoughts when you started reading We Used to Live Here? Did the book meet your expectations or surprise you? I was so excited for this book. I really wanted and still want to find a book that gives me the creeps, just the real like that. That's what I want to feel like. The heebie-jeebies. I want to be so afraid that I can't fall asleep at night. I think this book had its moments, but I want a full-on Joey moment where I feel the only way I'll be safe from the book is if I hide it in the freezer. This book did not do that for me. I want to read a book that makes me nervous. There's someone following me up the stairs. And I mean, I go on like this for a little while, actually. If you can't figure it out, I really want to be scared. If any of the listeners have suggestions, throw them our way. At least that's where I'm at right now. If I find one, I might regret it. But right now in this moment, I want to be scared. The potential for this book was so good. It definitely had a couple creepy moments in it. Like the attic scene, I swear, I could see the girl and felt the fear. I just think the ending was so incomplete that it discredited the rest of the book for me.
This book was so different than I expected it to be. I thought there was going to be like a paranormal theme and lots of jump scares, and it wasn't that at all.
Yeah.
It was a good story.
It was a little paranormal-y.
A little-ish.
yeah.
The theme was there, like the
But we
concept.
don't even know
Thomas.
if anyone was a ghost. How do you
yeah,
how do
we
you know
don't
that?
know.
Well, no, he's not a ghost, but he is. He reminds me of the Lorax. He's the keeper of the trees.
Do you know?
He was there before the tree.
Anyways, I think I rated it a 3. I can't
did.
remember, but after it settled and thinking about it again, I think I liked it more after we summarized it. Now revisiting it, I don't know that I liked it that much.
So do you want to change your rating? Is this
It's
literature
locked in.
on the rocks first? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, I did rate it a 3 if I remember correctly, but if I were to
did,
re-rate,
because I have it written down.
okay, if I were to re-rate, I probably would have rated it more too.
I was excited for this book. We had toggled between 2 different options for our other spooky book for October. I was ready to be scared, and this book did not disappoint. I was pleased with it. Unresolved questions. Were there any plot points or character arcs that you felt were left unresolved or could have been explored further? And I wrote that I wanted to know more about the origin of the creatures. I know part of the fear of it is that you don't know where they came from, and they're just absorbing these people's lives.
What are you talking? What creatures?
Thomas!
He wasn't a creature.
Yes, he was.
How was he a creature?
He looked very
not a
humanly
person.
to me.
He was a human,
I
but
saw
like
him with my own 2 eyes.
he's an entity, though.
How? Where did you get that vibe?
But you're not like putting your hand through his chest.
He was a person, and maybe okay.
Can I finish my answer?
Oh wow.
Yes, you can.
She's like no in her
Jesus.
heart.
So
I will try my hardest.
listen, Linda. So
She's twitching over there.
good, because it's not going to be me. So what I got from it was that Thomas is an entity. Maybe he takes the form of a child when Allison is young. Maybe he takes the form of this fool now, this grown man. Because they even say they're not what they look like. So I think
They're not what they look like.
the cabin guy tells them, like, those people are,
Yeah, but so does the
Not what
monkey.
it seems. Not what they seem.
he says something like they're not what they look like. Like they
But
don't.
that's not what they look like.
Yes. So that I took it to be that they are an entity.
There is a whole thread on Reddit about Old House Archive. It's been around forever. People tell their theories, and some of them are like, I think Thomas was living in the house or was drawn to the house in some way. Yes, he could be a spirit. He could be an ancient spirit. But that's what I mean. There's so many different theories about what and who Thomas was and who his family was. There's a theory that his family is part of this mind-wiping theory, right? And they've just decided to play along with it because it's easier. And Jenny, the reason why she goes and hides in the basement is because she's trying to escape that reality by going back through the tunnels under the house and get back to her home life, which I think is kind of a cool theory. But what frustrates me is there is literally no answer, and I have decided I don't like that. I need some sort of closure, and there is so many open. So I guess I'll read my answer to this unresolved questions. Oh, where do I start? There's so many unanswered questions in this book. Who was the real Charlie at the end of the book? Was it the Charlie calling Eve, or was it the one in the motel with her? Or were any of them the real Charlie? Who the heck was Thomas? I get he was a spirit. At least that's what I think he was. But after reading some of these Reddit threads, maybe not. But why was he at the house, and how did this whole alternate reality become a thing? Eve seemingly replaced Allison with that scene of her smiling and walking away at the end. That's what it felt like, right? But if her life was anything like what was happening to Eve, how did she just skip off into the sunset? Wouldn't she want to go back to her own reality instead of being free of Thomas in this one? This is just the start of what I feel could be a very long list of questions that were left unanswered. This book's ending really just felt unresolved, and a book without closure is one I clearly have a hard time getting behind.
I think I see both sides because I also had a similar sentiment about I needed more explanation about Thomas and his family. who are they? Where did they come from? Why are they stealing people's lives? I need to understand this, the whole scenario. But to Rachel's point, as a whole, the story I think was fine if I'm not like really trying to dissect it in a book club and I'm trying to just take it for what it is. But there is so many holes. I think the more we dissect it, the more it's going to like take away from the novelty of it. So I can see that. But
I think if there was any sort of closure in this book, I would have been able to close the book and feel the same way. That was cool. That was good. I feel like I do that a lot of time.
What I took away from the ending was it wasn't that there wasn't closure. It was just like, oh, I talk about this later, but we don't know that Eve is a accurate or truthful narrator because of all the documents. Like hypothermia leads to hallucinations. So at some points in the book, I didn't know if
like
we could
when was she
believe-
cold? When she was walking from house to house?
Well, who knows? Like, did she? Maybe it was going to be. I thought at some point maybe it's going to be one of those books where she fell in the snow walking her dog because Charlie was gone, and she had all of these hallucinations, and she wasn't like it wasn't real.
So the whole book was fake.
Right. It could have been gone that way. Because of the way they fed.
Like, okay, again, like great theory, but there's nothing at the end that resolves anything. Like there's no closing to any story, to any plot lines. Like it's just left open-ended.
And I think that was the intention, right?
Charlie's looking for her. So,
yeah, exactly. So she's
so
clearly missing.
So what she experienced, I took it as like that was the real narration and something else was going on, but she couldn't get back to that Charlie.
Right. I agree with that. But I still think like, where is Eve actually in a mental prison? So she is.
Yes.
The real Eve.
Yes.
But they
Because
call
she
her
gets
Emma.
out.
She doesn't get out.
Yeah, there was like a moment I thought when
She is starting to comply to gain release, but
And Charlie comes and visits her.
no. Thomas.
Charlie comes and visits her.
No.
And she's like,
We
yes,
have as
Charlie
many
for sure comes and visits her.
alternate versions
And
of
she's
this
like,
story.
You broke up with me. And she has
She-
this whole
they
conversation.
Have a phone call.
Oh, a phone call.
A phone call,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she calls her, but
Oh yeah, Eve calls her,
Yes,
and then
and
she's
she's
like,
like, just
you,
listen.
"No, you broke up with me." And
Yeah.
they have that
and
whole
I can't
conversation.
deal with this anymore.
Yes.
Yes.
But then you hear that the actual Charlie is looking for her.
Right,
So
at the very end.
is she really in the psych ward, or is she in this alternate reality and she's just missing?
or
That's
is
what
she
I
in
mean,
the
she's-
psych ward in the alternate reality?
No, in the alternate reality, but we're talking about in real life.
But yeah,
in
you were
real
just-
life,
you were
where
just
is she?
She's missing.
But you were just touting that we can't trust her narrative, right?
But I think at the very end, you can.
Why? How?
Because
why?
Because Charlie's like the
Charlie's
real
looking for
Charlie
her?
is looking for her. So
No, I think we can trust the documents. That's what I think is the only thing that's, and even some of the documents are not trustworthy, right? But like we can say, okay, this is a real thing. These are real people who are experiencing or talking about their experiences, like the doctor that. But yeah, see, no, none of it is trustworthy. Nothing. There's more questions than there
There's
are
not
answers.
one solid narrative in this
Exactly.
entire story.
And that's what I think I don't like about it. I
Yeah.
don't feel like there's closure. There's nothing solid that you can go.
So there is some closure in that.
like what she
there
experienced was
Yes,
real.
her narrative was real. Charlie is real, and her
somehow
life
Thomas
before
has the power to put her in this alternate reality.
Yes,
And
her life before was real because now they have this locket to prove like here was your last life. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like him.
he like is
taunting her
manipulating and
Yes.
to be like, yeah, we told you that you were psycho and that you're this other person, but here's the locket that's going to tell you that you're not. And
Yeah.
you're here, and
Some
there's not
validating
much
of
you
your-
can do about it.
Yeah, like haha.
Yes, but,
But again, she's an unreliable narrator.
so
She turned reliable at the end for me.
See, okay, yeah. See, I don't understand flip flopping. Like, I don't if she's unreliable or if she like has some clarity. I felt she was doubting herself throughout the book, but I didn't doubt her stories. I felt her fear. I understood where she was. There's strangers coming into her house, and yeah, there is some weird things happening that also Charlie was witnessing, and so I didn't ever doubt her. I felt like she was doubting herself, which maybe doubt her a little bit, but for the most part, I trusted her story and her experiences and what she was seeing and what she was doing and all the things. And so even at the end, though, it just
We had different experiences or realities of the book.
I think at the very end, I know I can say without a shadow of doubt, I was angry when I finished the book, and I didn't like feeling that.
Well, I'll finish my answer in that I said I was asking all these questions about who Thomas's family was, and I was like, maybe I'm overthinking it, and that doesn't even need to be that deep. But I feel like I don't have a lot of closure on that major part of the story. It was possible to read and enjoy the story without that detail, but I think I just feel like it was too open-ended. give me a little explanation on what's going on.
Yes.
So I feel like I was a middle ground between the both of your answers. Like you were like, no, I don't need all of it. I think it was fine. And you were like, no, closure. And I was like, I would like closure, but also I could still enjoy the book without it.
Yeah.
But give me some more details because I wanted it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there should be a second book.
You know what? I feel like this one was a book that I thought, I would read the next one because I need more answers.
Because I need to know
Yes.
what the F is happening.
However, I don't know what the direction that other book would take. Like
It
her,
could take so many.
yeah, Charlie on one reality, and then they see each other in a mirror, and they're just in different worlds, and now there's nothing they can do about it. They gotta crash the mirror and open it, and they create a portal between the two worlds.
It's become a horror from a horror to a sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's now Alice in Wonderland.
You know what? Yeah. Okay, so alternate ending. If you could change one thing about the ending of We Used to Live Here, what would it be and why?
Let's talk about that.
My answer is very short because there's so many ways. I couldn't decide on what the option was. So I came up with, at first they said maybe Eve never gets out of the psych ward, but she obviously didn't. But maybe she's in the psych ward, but in the house. That's going to be my new answer, that she's down in the house. And then the Fausts go after Charlie because Charlie is trying to find her and trying to bring her back from being missing. And they don't want their story to get jacked up. So now they're going to go suck her in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Twinning. I'm going to go next because it's the shortest answer I've ever written in my whole entire life.
Excellent.
Anything.
Alternate ending. I'd have some answers. That's all I wrote. That's how I would end it, with some answers.
Okay, well, mine just kind of reiterates what we've kind of already talked about. I loved the ending.
I'm just kidding.
I liked that the final document was a Reddit thread, and it was Charlie looking for Eve because at some point it's playing with you about the hypothermia. Like all of the documents that leading up to that, you're not sure if she's a viable narrator, and then at the end you're like, fuck yeah, and everything's messed up.
Yeah, I think the ending almost messed it up more.
No, I liked it because it was like,
It, like,
she's really
clarified things
trapped
for her.
and she's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
yeah.
And now I have more questions.
I was good with it.
Love it.
All right, adaptation dreams. If We Used to Live Here were to be adapted into a movie or TV series, who would you cast in the main roles? I casted Thomas, Eve, and Charlie.
Same.
Same.
Eve, I did Victoria Pedretti.
Me too. Yay!
She's from the Haunting on Hill House or the Hill
And
Haunting.
she's in You.
And she's in You. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I picked Ruby Rose.
Different vibe, but I
Yeah.
can see it.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, that was a quick one, but
easy peasy,
Victoria
lemon
Pedretti.
peasy. That's okay. Charlie, I picked Toddy Gabrielle. She is from Sabrina, but she's also from You.
Oh, is she?
Yes.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I picked Bella Ramsey.
I do hate it.
Oh my gosh.
You guys are
No, it's a good pick.
Let's be
solid,
honest
solid,
here.
solid. Let's be honest.
exactly. Don't patronize me, Sonny.
All right.
Okay, and then who do you got?
I picked Laura Prepone.
Hold on. I
You
don't
know who it is.
You
do
know
know
who
who it
it
is.
is. I told you. I went shopping at the Orange is the New Black.
I know I'm cast out, so let me try to. Who was the other
you
one?
Yeah, you definitely are.
I think I like Toddy better with Victoria.
Okay. For Thomas, I picked Oliver Jackson Cohen.
Okay.
I did Andrew Lincoln.
He's not a bad option for Thomas. I
Thomas.
picked Bill Skarsgård.
No.
No, I needed
No. Maybe.
No, who is he?
He's the guy from It.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
is he
it.
Oh, he is
Creepy.
He does do all the creepy deeps.
Yeah, he does. I'm casting out Sonny's. Sorry.
Okay, then I'm picking Rachel's.
Okay.
We're all winners here. Ice drop.
Ice drop. Eve is Victoria Pedretti. Charlie is Toddy Gabrielle. And Thomas is Andrew Lincoln.
Ooh, ooh.
Stranger at the door. If you were in Eve's position when the strangers arrived, how would you have reacted? Would you have trusted them or kept your guard up? And I have to say, I don't answer the door for shit.
Right? Seriously.
I have a big ass sticker on my door that says no soliciting. And I hate the solicitors that like ring the doorbell and knock, pisses me off. Pick one, asshole. Pick one. So I will go out there and
You feel about this the same way I feel about the book.
yes, and I will go out there and I'll be rude. I'll point at this and be like, "Do we need literacy lessons? Like we can't. It's right in the middle. Your silly ass had to look at it to ring my fucking doorbell." Anyways, if it was in my house, I probably wouldn't have answered the door. I would have used the ring and talked to them that way.
What if the ring wasn't around at that time?
Okay, if I didn't have a ring, I would have ignored the door. I wouldn't have gone to it. Unless they kept knocking, then it would have pissed me off and I would have gone to the door. But I would have never let them in. I would have been rude and nasty and like, get the fuck away from my property. If you don't leave my property in the next 10 seconds, I'm calling the police. Get the fuck out of here. I would have been rude as fuck.
I do think that you're right. I would probably, even before ring, yeah, I'd hide.
Honestly, though, if a family came to my door, I would have thought they were Jehovah's Witness and I wouldn't have answered.
I'm not interested, thank you.
I've already been saved, thank you.
Baptized Christian, great.
I speak to God every day. Me and the man.
Me and the man.
Okay, so I have to tell a story before I can answer this question honestly, because this just recently happened. I was at my sister-in-law's house and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I just received pictures from the people who used to live in this house, in my house."
What?
And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, they came over like a while back."
Shut the
And knocked on the door.
Shut the
And she was working from home, and
I'd
she
have
heard
looked at her and been like, "Are
and
you
they
still
knocked
you?"
Again. Yes. She's like, they knocked again. I was like, I can't take this
Not so-
conversation seriously right now. This is just this last weekend.
Stop it
Yes.
right now.
And she was like, when I answered the door, it was a man and a woman, and they were like, "We used to live in this house when it was built." I was like, "Did you slam the door and run away?" 'Cause
Have you
what
listened to our
is
podcast?
happening right now? Isn't that crazy?
That is wild that it actually
She-
happened.
She told
in
them,
today's
"I'm
world.
working. Come back later."
Come
And
back later?
yes.
Absolutely not.
They ended up leaving and did not come back, but because they knew the address of the house, they mailed it to the house, some like actual hard copied photos, and sent them to her of all the house. And there was a fire nearby the house, and they had pictures of that.
Who
and
the fuck cares?
it's
Sorry.
crazy.
That's wild.
It's crazy. And so because her address is on it, she's now pen pals with them.
No, absolutely not.
Did you make sure that she's still her?
I was like,
Identify yourself,
because
woman.
My other sister-in-law,
Yeah.
my younger sister-in-law, was like, "They could have killed you."
Yes.
And I was like, "Or they could be spirits that haunt this house
That I thought was stupid.
You're gonna end up in the same."
I'll know the answers now.
Do you have a basement?
Where's your attic?
So I think, realistically, isn't that wild though?
That
so
is
crazy.
fucking nutty.
Crazy.
When she was telling me, I'm like, "I'm so glad we haven't done book club yet." So with that story being one I literally only heard last week, I can honestly say I don't know if I would have let them in. If I was in Eve's shoes and alone in the house, absolutely not. I'd let them know that it was a bad time and that they needed to come back later, just like my sister-in-law did. I definitely wouldn't tell strangers that I'm home by myself, but I wouldn't have a problem with letting them know we are in the middle of dinner or something, and they'll have to just come back another time.
It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of dinner right now.
We're
Come back later.
I mean, just making something up that
Yeah.
would make me so I don't have to. And
We're in
then
the middle of our midday seance. Could you come back later?
Yeah.
I haven't finished painting the pentagram for your visit.
Yeah, that's really what I'd do. I'd really freak them out. And,
That'd be
and
good.
if
That'd
they
be
still
fucking
wanted
crazy.
to come in,
He's like, "Excellent. I'll be in the center of your pentagon in moments."
I'd be like, "Great, red flag. No, you can't come in. Bye."
Enter it with your witch hat and your cauldron. Hello.
Cauldron.
How are you today?
You used to live here, you say?
Can I get some of your blood?
And a locket of your hair.
Oh my God, could you come back at 5? I'll be needing your hair, your blood. If you could bring some nail clippings
What's
as
the witching
well.
hour?
3 a.m.
Come back at 3 a.m.
What if they fucking came back?
Oh,
Pissed.
man.
I'd be look,
Look, motherfucker, it was a joke.
I would show up with
Get
my
out.
with my sheep that we're about to sacrifice. My
I
goat.
opened the door with a Glock. What?
It is 3 a.m. Why are you here?
Also, actually, and I just thought about this, I helped build my house. So if anyone came to my house and was like, "We used to live here, can we look inside?" I'd be like, "Bullshit. Liar, get out of here."
Same. And I'd be like, you are probably buried under it, so we're going to not let you in.
Yeah. Oh my God, now I'm extra scared about someone coming and telling me this.
And they're in, old-timey garb.
Yeah.
Milady. Excuse me, milady. May I partake in your chamber pot? It's been ages.
Oh, Jesus.
Man.
May I piss in your pot?
May I piss in your pot, madame? It's been ages since I've peed in a pot.
Okay.
What's your answer?
I'm a little bit of in between, but I would have 1000% never let them in my house. I might be a little less aggressive than my husband would have been in that scenario, but there's no way that I would ever let them in. Now, I would have never probably not even answered the door, and I legit would have hid. I would have literally gone, ooh,
I do
let me
think
move.
this book has definitely been like, yeah, no, anyone that comes to my door.
Yeah,
that
I do
wants
it
to come
now.
in.
Okay, first of all, they're an entire family against just me. So I wouldn't have never been able to protect
No.
myself. There's 4 of them, 5 of them. How many kids did they have? 3?
Clearly, you need to train more.
And my thought would
I
have
could
been,
take Jenny, no problem.
my thought would have been
Maybe
that there's
Kai.
no way.
You need to be set up to fight off multiple assailants.
Eve couldn't even take on Kai.
No.
Eve's a bitch. She got what she deserved
Stop
in the end for
crying
being a
about it.
bitch.
The boy.
I said it's just too personal of a thing to let a stranger in your home, even when you know they're coming, let alone unannounced. It's a too personal of a thing. Your home is a safe space, and I feel like I don't want a random stranger walking through my house. I don't care how personal it is to you. This is personal to me now. So inside versus outside, do you think the story is more about external threats, the strangers, or internal struggles, mental health, trust, and trauma? I'll be honest. I'm so tired when I was writing things. I don't even know.
This was a hard question to answer, I
it
think.
was super difficult.
I liked it when I first was writing about it. It was like, yeah, and then it was hard. I don't know.
I was like, I think it could be about both. Since I'm not really sure who the Faust family was and what they are, I couldn't really say. There might be a bit of a metaphor to internal struggles like trust and trauma, because these played a huge part in how Eve handled and reacted to some of the situations. So maybe there's more to her childhood than was in the story, and her inside monkey voice had to be like a coping mechanism for something that she had in her youth. I would say there probably is some internal trauma triggers that maybe they were alluding to that I just couldn't focus on because I was like, what the hell is happening in this book?
She clearly had some mental things because she had to create this monkey for her anxiety and paranoia.
And she called it her inside voice.
So maybe the whole thing is fake. Maybe it is fake. Even the ending with the she's in an insane asylum. Bro, honestly, this book is a mind you know what. It starts off as external threats, but really flips the scripts into internal struggles quickly. You start off nervous about this girl inviting strangers into a home. They're clearly killers, and then quickly start to not understand what the heck is happening. The internal struggles reading this book were intense, and I couldn't imagine actually living in it. So internal struggles for me, yes.
I think it's 50-50. It was a mix of the two, and I think her internal struggles enhanced the external threat.
Yeah. A House of Questions. Did you find the ending satisfying? I can't even read this without laughing. Did you find the ending satisfying? Why or why not? Would you have preferred more answers, or did the ambiguity make the story stronger? Obviously, we've talked about it a lot.
I was going to say, you've already
Beat
answered this
horse
6
to
times.
death. Yeah. I even wrote, in case you couldn't tell by my previous answers, I hated the way it ended. It literally made me angry that I ever wanted to even read this book in the first place. I don't want to bag on this book too much because I still believe the premise was interesting. I just hated not having any sense of what was going on once I ended the book. So I've really beat this book up. Reading it, it was not bad. It truly was just how it ended that really bothered me.
It was a well-written
Yes.
book, and I think it did carry. It had a good pace, and I
Yeah.
don't know that there was ever a moment where I was like, "Okay, move on already. Let's
done. I
let's
don't
move
wanna
the
know."
story
Yeah.
along." I said, referring back to my answer to alternate endings, I think I needed more. The ending was so vague, and I don't feel that I personally got the closure that I would have liked. It was probably written that way on purpose, but I just enjoy stories that have somewhat of a sense of closure to the storyline. Close a portion of it, which now that we're talking about it, I guess they kind of did, right? He did close a portion of it in that he alluded to the fact that Eve is really Eve and she had this life with Charlie, and he closed that and gave you closure and confirmed that was a real
But could that
storyline.
have been another hallucination?
Right?
Maybe there wasn't
Maybe.
hallucinations. I took it like
That's
they
what I
were.
mean.
I liked it. I thought it gave you just enough. I was pleased with the story. Let's keep my stance. I still rated a 3. Scared the fuck out of me.
Oh, yeah.
The Price of Compassion. The book quotes Sylvie Caucasian. Empathy without boundaries is self-destruction. How do you see this idea play out in Eve's actions throughout the story? Do you think her empathy made her stronger, or did it ultimately put her in danger? How do we, in our own lives, balance compassion with protecting ourselves? If Evie had had boundaries, there would be no story. She would have told them to kick rocks.
Yes.
I literally said that. That was like my second sentence.
I do think empathy can make you stronger. And I think she did. I think it alludes to her having trauma with her parents growing up in the church and them being hesitant about her sexuality. And I think as a prize for anyone who's had trauma growing up, you get the prize of being able to read people better. You have a better sense of reading people. And like, I just think people need to listen to their inside voice. If they're telling you get away from these people, if the inside voice inside of you is like, you need to leave now, get away from these people, you should listen.
And we got to hear her inside voice that was telling her, no,
Run,
don't do this.
run away, get them out.
Okay, come in.
Yeah, no, she caused all of this from her dumbassery and no boundaries in the beginning.
Had she had some magicianry, she probably would have fared better in the story.
You didn't even need magicianry at this point. You just need some gumption.
Some gumption.
They said she absolutely caused her own harm in this story. The entire story wouldn't have happened had she not welcomed these strangers into her home. But that does raise the question, would they have found a way in and forced their way into her life?
Yeah.
Or are they like vampires and they need to be invited in?
Which that was somebody said the reason why Charlie didn't get attacked by Thomas and only Eve did was because she was the one who opened the door and said, come in, you're welcome. That was one of the things on the Reddit.
Mind blown. And then I said, also, what are they trying to accomplish? Maybe a question to raise in another question, but it just came to me as I was talking through this.
Does evil need a reason?
Maybe.
Oh, what a theological question you just
Potentially.
Because
Yeah.
if it's just evil to be evil, why does it need a reason?
No, but evil is trying to encourage evil, and that's their goal, right? Is to be disruptive
Chaos.
and to be
And they
cause
did that.
chaos. But is that their goal? Nobody said they were evil necessarily.
Clearly they are.
I don't know.
gonna keep this all to myself.
All right, go ahead.
Anyways, this is a difficult answer because as someone who tends to lean into their empathy more than her like aggressive side, it is a good thing, but can quickly become a weakness, I think. It's a hard thing to balance. I naturally lean more empathetic. I feel that it can be taken advantage of or cause me to be seen as a people pleaser or a pushover. So I think the environment changes the way someone handles the compassion and how they handle each situation, but oftentimes we will handle compassion with...
I wrote in this book, I think empathy made Eve put her life in danger. Not only hers, but Charlie's as well, and their poor little doggies.
Oh, yeah.
This is something I deal with in my own life for sure. Not people coming into my house, but empathy over protecting myself. I find that my instinct is that I want to be more compassionate more than I want to protect myself. My coworkers always make fun of me because of a past story about me and a homeless man walking into our customer service office when I was running the front desk. There was a man who was absolutely clearly homeless that came into the customers unhoused. He was a transient. He came into the customer service office. He hadn't showered for who knows how long. He was wearing like those white thin tank tops. It definitely was not white. It was brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? And he was carrying this big old trash bag with him. And to me, he had these gloves on that were like really fuzzy, but the fingers were cut off. And so he came up to the front desk and he started talking to me. And so I walked up to the front to talk to him because the way that my desk was set back from the counter where people can come. So he came up and he just wanted to talk. And I thought, okay, I'll talk to you. And he stuck his hand out to shake my hand to tell me what his name was. I don't remember what it was. But then he grabbed my hand and then he wouldn't let it go. And he was holding onto it and he started rubbing it and his gloves were all moist and very dirty. And he didn't want to let me go. And so it was like squishy, like... Right when he's squishing it. And I was just like, it's okay, Sonny, just get it. It's okay. He's just a man who wants to talk. He wanted to show me pictures. We talked for a while. And then he was like, girl, can you help me? Because I have this scratch on my back, this itch on my back.
No, you did not.
And I cannot seem to reach it.
No,
You didn't.
And I said, oh, we don't scratch backs here. That's part of our policy. He said, but I just can't reach it. It's just in this spot. And I was like, okay.
Oh, no!
And I scratched his back. And as I was doing it, again, moist. Everything about him was moist and dirty. And so I was scratching his back and he lifted up his shirt and he said,
No,
"Can
he
you-"
didn't.
I need you to get under the shirt.
I'm just in awe right now.
And I said, nope, I can't. That's where I draw the line. And I ran into the back office and I was like, please don't make me go back out there because I am having a hard time telling this homeless man no. And I don't know what else he's going to get from me.
Okay.
I can say for sure I've never heard this story
I
before.
have not heard this story.
And-
I feel like that has left a lasting mark on me.
I
it's
was
left a lasting-
visualizing.
You know what? And you were probably one of the only people in a long time who was kind enough to shake his hand, right?
Yeah,
Because people
true.
tend to be dismissive of homeless people.
Yeah.
So the fact that you were like, yeah, I'll shake your hand, he probably was like, oh my God, somebody doesn't, I'm not a
Yes.
leper.
And
right?
he gave me this toothless smile that
and you probably made his day.
Yeah. And I was young, so I was
Also,
cute.
to my compassion side, I understand.
You understand.
Yes.
And in that moment, it was like he just wants someone
Yes.
in his life.
I would have had a hard time turning him away.
I understand the compassion, but I will be a self-preservationist before I touch that squishy glove.
I would have had a hard time turning away from him too. Although I don't know that
I literally ran it when he lifted up his shirt for me to scratch, and I could see the dirt build up on the back of on his back. I was like, "Nope, I'm done. I gotta go." I literally ran away into the back office. So it is still to this day told around the office. This story
hilarious.
of like, if you're ever put in a position, it's okay to tell them no.
Yeah. It is, but I do get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
So I was young, and I think that I have changed a little bit more. I think I'm more likely to say no to people to protect myself, and especially now that I have a family. But I do still I struggle to find the balance of empathy and self-preservation. So I understand Eve a little bit. All right, that's a wrap on this episode of Literature on the Rocks. We've unpacked all the unsettling twists of We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kliewer, a story that proves strangers at your door are rarely just selling cookies. Next week, we're keeping the chills coming with Hidden Pictures by Jason Rakulik. So grab your copy and join us. Make sure you subscribe because we're here for you every Wednesday.
Yep, some guests just don't leave, and we're hoping you won't either. Stick around by rating and reviewing and help more lost readers discover our little lair.
I like it.
Keep the door open and follow us at Lit on the Rocks Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and visit us at literatureontherocks.com. We'll be waiting.
Until next time, may your houses be warm, your doors locked, and your cocktails and your muscles be extra strong enough to take on a kid who stole your phone, maybe. Cheers.
Toodaloo.
Bye.